What happens when the world's richest man and the world's most powerful politician go from allies to enemies? It's Elon Musk versus Donald Trump, a breakup that's not just personal but political, financial, and even global. Let's dive into this whole explosive drama, how it started, who loses what, and what happens next. Let's start with the timeline of this breakup. It wasn't always like this. Not long ago, Musk and Trump were allies. After Trump's second term win, he made Elon the head of the so-called Department of Government Efficiency or DOGE. Musk slashed budgets, shut down agencies, and rode Air Force One with Trump just like a trusted insider. But just days after Musk stepped away from this role, everything blew up. On June 3, Musk publicly slammed Trump's flagship legislation, the quote-unquote One Big Beautiful Bill, calling it bloated, reckless, and a betrayal of DOGE's work. The next day, he urged Americans to quote-unquote kill the bill. And then on June 5, he dropped a political bomb. He accused Trump of being named in the sealed Jeffrey Epstein files, and that also without any proof. Trump, furious, fired back, threatening to strip Musk's companies of their government contracts, saying, quote unquote, the easiest way to save billions is to cancel Elon's subsidies. And just like that, the bromance became a war, and Trump did not hold back there. He called Musk crazy, saying he had become erratic and ungrateful. But here is the twist. Trump's used that same label for others before, like Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. Remember when he called Putin, quote unquote, absolutely crazy and still kept ties warm behind the closed doors? Same with Elon Musk now. Despite the insult, Trump knows Musk is too big to ignore, especially with his influence over tech space and now politics. After all, being called crazy by Trump might just mean you're powerful enough to scare him. Do you know why Trump is not in an all-out war mode with Musk? For Trump, the immediate risk of going all out here is political. Musk isn't just a billionaire. He has a megaphone with 220 million followers and a pile of cash to burn. In fact, he spent more than 270 million US dollars just supporting Trump in the last election. Now he could turn that firepower against GOP, bankrolling entire Trump Republican challengers and influencing critical bill from the outside. There are also whispers that Musk could work with fiscally conservative senators to block Trump's tax bill. So while Trump may have fired the first shot, he might just have woken a very expensive enemy. On the flip side, the feud is risky and expensive for Musk as well. Right after the spat erupted, Tesla shares dropped 14%, 14%, wiping out nearly 150 billion US dollars in market value. Musk's own net worth fell by 34 billion US dollars in just one day, and Trump's threat to cancel government contracts is no joke either. Musk's companies from SpaceX to Tesla are tied to over 22 billion US dollars in federal contracts. Pulling those could devastate operations, especially at SpaceX, which serves NASA. The even worse aspect is that this political isolation could leave Musk without allies. Liberals don't trust him anymore, and conservatives may now see him as a traitor. And there is one more angle. Musk is a naturalized American citizen, originally from South Africa. Could Trump's administration create trouble for him on that front as well? No one said that yet, but in politics, nothing's off the table. Always remember that. Beyond that, this feud is about power, not just political or financial power, but the power of influence. Musk controls tech platforms, satellite networks, and cultural conversations. Trump controls government machinery, policy, and the political base across the country and the world. This is the clash between two empires, not two individuals. So what comes next? Trump might try to silence Musk, cutting contracts, sidelining his allies, or even launching investigations. Musk could retaliate, funding opposition candidates, leaking damaging information like he did in Jeffrey Epstein case, or simply using X to flood the news cycle. And while both sides bleed, Democrats are just watching, saying nothing, letting them fight out between Trump and Musk. After all, anything that hurts Trump helps Democrats. So, is this the end of an alliance or the starting of something even messier? Musk says Trump has 3.5 years left. I will be around for 40 more. Trump says he's went crazy. But between threats, lawsuits, leaks, and market crash, one thing's crystal clear, dear viewers: when billionaires and presidents fall apart or fall out, the whole world feels the shake. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif never fails to give us the content. He once again stood up, looked straight into the camera, and said, "The Shimla Agreement is now a dead document." Don't be perplexed. Here is the best part. Pakistan's own foreign ministry had to jump in and fact check him, basically saying, "No, Mr. Minister, it's still very much alive. Please stop talking." Let me break this down for you. Signed in 1972 after the 1971 India-Pakistan War and the creation of Bangladesh, the Shimla Agreement was meant to reset India-Pakistan ties. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi from India and Ali Bhutto agreed on something crucial. All disputes, especially Kashmir, will be resolved bilaterally. That means no outsiders, no United Nations, no third party, no America. It was a big move. Pakistan, though bruised, accepted that Kashmir won't go on the international stage, at least not officially. And since then, despite multiple conflicts and flare-up, the one agreement that largely prevented all-out war was this Shimla Agreement. But may the Defense Minister of Pakistan don't recall what's really keeping them safe. Khawaja Asif, during an interview, claimed the agreement is meaningless. The Shimla Agreement, it's meaningless now because of India's abrogation of Article 317/2019, which removed the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. He said, and I quote, "We are back to the 1948 position. That means let's go back to UN resolutions, ceasefire lines, and international interventions." But within 24 hours, Pakistan's own foreign ministry had to issue a clarification, basically saying, no, there has been no decision to scrap any agreement, including the Shimla Agreement. It is still valid. This is the second time, dear viewers, in the recent times that the Pakistani establishment had to clean up the mess of this minister, the blunder of this minister. So what does all this mean? Is Kashmir now an international issue again? Not quite. For Kashmir to become a multilateral matter, an international issue again, both India and Pakistan would have to agree to discard the Shimla Agreement. And India has made it clear more than once: no third party, no UN, no United States, no Trump, no outside interference. Even treaties like the Indus Waters Treaty, which India has suspended, hasn't been formally terminated. What this incident really shows is how fractured and confused Pakistan's internal communication on foreign policy is. They don't know what they're doing. One minister calls a key treaty dead, and within hours another arm of the government denies it. It's not foreign policy at all. It is political theater going on in Pakistan, which they're reflecting into the world. India, and it's not the Shimla Agreement that's dead. It's the briefing memo that never reached Pakistan's defense minister's office. Is China quietly helping Iran build a massive missile arsenal? And is it just about defense or something bigger and far more dangerous? Let's talk about this now. According to a new report published in the Wall Street Journal, Iran is importing thousands and thousands of tons of missile fuel from China, enough to potentially make 800 ballistic missiles. And this isn't just a rumor, it's a repeated trend. This is the second major report this year linking China to fueling Iran's missile program. So let's first understand what's being bought. What is Iran buying from China? The chemical is ammonium perchlorate, a critical ingredient used in solid rocket fuel. This is what they're buying. According to the report, the order has been placed with a Chinese firm based in Hong Kong. Sources say that the shipment could arrive in Iran within months, and some of it could be used to send to Yemen's Houthi rebels, who are known for launching attacks on Israel. So that's the whole equation. Now remember, this isn't just a few rockets. With thousands and thousands of tons of fuels, we are talking about 800 missiles and massive, massive jump in Iran's missile capabilities. The question is, why now? Iran's missile program has been under pressure. Last year, Israeli airstrikes severely damaged Iran's air defense systems and missile infrastructure. There was one official who even admitted that Iran was left virtually naked, quote unquote, in terms of aerial defense systems. So, rebuilding missile power is not just a strategy, it's a necessity for Iran. And China's help may be exactly what Iran and its government needed. Here is where it gets even more interesting, dear viewers. Listen carefully. While Iran is boosting its missile stockpile, Donald Trump, yes, the same Trump who scrapped the Iran nuclear deal in 2018, is now proposing a quote unquote verified nuclear peace agreement with Iran again. He says he wants a deal that ensures no nuclear weapon and brings regional peace in the region. But wait, wasn't that what the 2015 Iran deal already did? JCPOA did. Well, Trump argues this new deal would be better, including Israel and Saudi Arabia in the loop and having permanent solutions, not temporary, permanent provisions, unlike the time-bound clauses of JCPOA. But critics say Trump's maximum pressure approach pushed Iran further towards nuclear breakout, not away from it. That's what critics have to say. And now, with Iran closer than ever to be a bomb, any deal will have to climb a steeper hill. So here is the paradox. On one hand, Iran is weaker than ever. Its economy is baffled. The allies are struggling. Missile defense system shattered, shredded. But that may actually make negotiations harder for the US. Not easy. Why? Because now Iran's only leverage is nuclear threat, because they do not have anything else. Now, giving that up, that will come up with a heavy price tag. China's fuel shipments, Iran's rebuilding missiles, Trump's new deal proposal. It's a dangerous mix of cocktails for the world. And we are seeing where it will end. If you are paying a home loan, saving in fixed deposits, or just watching your EMI go out every month, this story is for you. The Reserve Bank of India just made a big move, a critical move. It cut the repo rate by 50 basis points. That's not all. It also slashed the cash reserve ratio, short formed as CRR, by 100 basis points. But what does all this mean for you? Cheaper loans? Lower FD returns, more spending power. What does it mean? Let's break it down in 5 simple ways. The RBI's decision will impact your money, your pocket. First things first, home loans just got lighter. With the repo rate now at 5.5%, banks will start passing on the benefit on to the borrowers. Say you have taken a loan of rupees 50 lakh over 20 years. Your monthly EMI could drop by around 3,000 rupees. Over the entire loan period, you might save over 7.5 lakh in interest payments. So if you have been waiting to buy that dream house, this could be your clue. But here is the flip side. Fixed deposit interest rates will now likely fall. If you are someone who relies on FDs or for steady incomes, maybe a retiree, this isn't a great news for you. Returns on new FDs, fixed deposits, will be lower, so now might be a good time to lock into a medium or long-term FDs before rates drop even further, or maybe even consider diversifying into other low-risk instruments. Also, it's not just about home loans. Whether it's a car loan, personal loan, or even education loan, EMIs will come down. If your loan is linked to the repo rate, which mostly are these days, banks are now under pressure to reduce your interest rates, your interest payments. So less money out of your pocket every month, and maybe more room in your budget for other things. Another key takeaway is related to real estate markets. The real estate sector is cheering. Lower loan rates means more people can now afford homes. They can buy homes, especially in the affordable and mid-income categories. Experts say this will help in boosting up the demand, help unsold inventory, and might even trigger new launches of the real estate projects. In simple terms, more homes sold, more jobs, more economic stability. Lastly, this rate cut isn't just about easing EMIs. You have to understand, it signals a big shift in RBI's thinking process, their operational process. It has moved from an accommodative stance to neutral, meaning inflation is under control now, for now, and the focus is shifting towards the growth of the country moving forward. With the world facing economic uncertainty, this move could help revive the private investment in the country, increase credit flow, and support small businesses that needs fund, that needs capital to grow. So whether you are a borrower smiling at your reduced EMIs or an investor frowning at your falling FD rates, this RBI rate cut is going to touch your wallet in one or the other way. And that's all I have for you on the show tonight, dear viewers. Now I will see you on Monday. Until then, take care, good night, and have a great weekend.